I want to quickly explain the difference when it comes to perceiving and receiving data or information or downloads. I see a lot of individuals say that they hear directly from God, that they're hearing and getting messages directly from God or spirit. The thing is that the major difference between receiving a message from God and receiving a message from spirit and or your greater self is this. When you receive a message from God, you go into a state of comatose, almost like you can't move, because the power and the information, well, first, the power is so great that it overtakes your body and you literally freeze. And then this next thing is the information that you receive, it's not through a voice. Maybe sometimes it might be through a voice, and I've heard the voice. This voice is extremely clear. There is no distinction. It's not my voice. My voice is my greater self. God's voice is like a knowing. And when God speaks to you, it's layered. You receive a message within a message within a message within a message, and it's burned into you. It becomes a part of who you are. Some people will then take this and make it their mission or their purpose, which absolutely, this is exactly what it did to me, because it was a knowing. It was, this is who I am. It is literally burned so deep within my spirit, within myself, my sense of self, that I have to finish it. I have to follow it. I have to go. I have to see it to the end. Because no matter how hard I try to stop, go back to being normal, try to fit in, try to get away from it, it always comes back. That knowing. That is the difference between receiving a message from God and from your greater self or spirit. Greater self or spirit is going to be more like a download, more like an information, more like your voice speaking to you. Or other spirits or other guides, if you can see them. That's you perceiving and receiving data from your greater self. That's not God. So I would be very mindful, very discerning when you're watching. And listen, I love tarot. I love mediums. I love psychics. I am all of that and greater. I have no problem with any of them, but they have limitations. Every single one of them have their own limitations, and they don't quite understand where they're getting their information from. And in some cases, their wires are even being tapped because they don't understand that the information that they're getting is from a source that is actually not of God or of higher or greater self. It's actually a spirit that's interfering. And I can tell the difference immediately with someone who is tapped in, like 100% almost tapped in, and someone who is being influenced by another or an other energy or other energies that are misinterpreting their messages. You've got to do a lot of work to get to this level, but you can get there. But I want you to understand that these individuals that say that they're getting messages from God, sorry, that is not the case. They're actually getting messages either from spirit, maybe ancestors, guides, and other entities that are in the astral realm. Sometimes they're greater self, but in some cases from an interference energy. So when you're watching tarot, when you're listening to a medium, when you're talking to a psychic, just be mindful and understand that there are situations where they could be getting misinformation. They could be getting information that is not in alignment with who you need to be or where you're going. And their information could be just completely and totally invalid. And in some cases, it could be valid. It is your job to practice discernment. It's actually your job to tap into your own greater self, to your own spirit, to get those messages. Because once you do that, then you don't need others, and you shouldn't need others to get that information for you. Now, are those useful tools? Absolutely. But you need to work on your own intuition, your own guidance, and say, is this true for me? Does this ring true? Is this accurate? Because there are readers out there. There are tarot readers, there are psychics, there are mediums, there are witches, there are warlocks. There are individuals out there that their goal is to take you down the wrong path, to take you off of your path. Because they don't want you to be in alignment with your greater self. They don't want you to know the truth about yourself. They don't want you to exit the matrix. They don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to see the truth. And the only way that you are going to get to that point where you can see the truth, be the truth, know the truth, and see through the illusion of these individuals is you have to do the work for yourself. You have to sit in meditation, and you have to ask to be shown to these things. You have to connect. Ask to connect to your greater self. Ask to integrate with your greater self. Ask to integrate with your astral body. Those things are available to you. You can do it. See, there are different modes in the simulation. There's the seeker mode where you are looking to others for answers. And that's okay. We all start there. We all look for others for help when we don't know where to go. Be careful about who you're looking to for help. Okay? One of the questions I ask always, show me the truth of this person. Show me their true intentions. Are they in alignment with the greater purpose of me, who I want to be? And if you get no, don't go down that road. I've lost years of my life because I didn't listen to my intuition when it told me no. I learned. And I'm helping you so that you don't have to go through that. You will start to realize when you get to the next level, when then you start to use tarot or psychics or mediums, you start to use them as validation to say, okay, I'm doing this, I've done this now, and I'm writing about it, I'm doing videos. Okay, now exactly what I said, exactly what I did, now I'm seeing that reflected back to me. Great, I'm on the right path. Perfect. That's the next level. Then when you get to the next level of the video game, you're the architect. Some call it the creator. I call it the architect. Because you're the one creating the movie. You're the director, you're the writer, you're the caster, you're the costume designer. You're the one that gets to pick and choose who's in your movie. Nobody chooses for you anymore. That's when you watch tarot. That's when you watch psychics and mediums and other advanced beings. And you go, I already know that. 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 Great. Nobody's telling me anything I don't already know. Ooh. That means I'm the Picasso. That means I'm the one that's writing this. Better get to work. So, that's my thing for you today. Be careful about the messages and the data that you are receiving. Okay? Because you will absolutely 100% without a doubt know if you're receiving a message directly from God, because it burns. It literally burns inside of you. You can never shake it. But God does not relay messages on a daily, because that energy is so powerful and so potent that it's like a, there you go, hit you with my best shot. But most people are getting information from the matrix. Some are getting it from their greater self. Some are tapped into their greater self. They're not getting these messages directly from God. It's not happening. Because God, like I said, burns in your soul, burns in yourself. But also, God is more of a third person perspective. God is not going to intervene in daily. That's your job. Your job is to do the daily. God's job is the overview. So God's going to hit certain people with certain information and certain knowings so that God can create massive change, because He relies on those individuals to create massive change. Most of the information that you're getting through tarot, through psychics and mediums, they're either getting it from other spirits, other guides, sometimes angels, sometimes their greater self if they're tapped in and integrated. But sometimes, for the most part, a lot of them are getting their wires crossed from interference energies, from energies that troll the matrix, that troll the web, that mix the signal. And here's quickly how you can kind of determine the difference between a message or data or a download that you are getting from higher self or spirit versus some type of interference energy. A message that comes through from your higher self is clear. It's clear thought. It's clear download. It's, yeah, absolutely. There's no hesitation. There's no worry, doubt, fear, none of that. It's literally like clear. If you are receiving or you're watching a tarot reader or some other medium or some other channeler, and there's hesitation or there is pause, a lot of pause, a couple of things are happening. One, they're either trying to gather information, or typically they're being interfered. They are experiencing interference energy, which means someone else has tapped into their channel, their frequency. They don't want the message to come out, so they therefore intervene and they twist the information. That's what these energies do. They twist the information, because a truth, in order for it to be a lie, you have to twist it. Any energy that is positive, in order for it to be negative, it has to be twisted. Okay? So that's what these energies will do, especially when you start to become more aligned with your truth, with who you are, and also more enlightened, more aware, more awake. You become brighter. And then you stand out in the web and they will target you. So that's why it's really important to understand how to shield yourself. And some people say, oh, you don't want to shield, that keeps you from feeling energies outside of yourself. Well, those are people that don't understand and are not at a high vibration, a higher level of energy. They don't understand how precious their energy is. Because if you are willing to bring in all of the negative energy and all the other energies around you and then lower your vibration, that's exactly what you're going to do. That's not self-preservation. That's not self-love. That's kowtowing to your surroundings. The only way that you're going to uplift your surroundings is to maintain a high vibrational energy within yourself. If you want to know more about shielding, I'm going to do a video on shielding, on how to properly shield, to maintain your energy level so that you can maintain the highest level of vibration and frequency within yourself, and that then reverberates out. Then others must bump up. You don't lower yourself. But my point is that when you become more of that high vibrational, high frequency energy, especially in this matrix, especially in this simulation, you're a target. You're a target for these energies who have to stop you. They do not want you to break free. They do not want you to have free mind, free emotions, free thoughts. They do not want you to have the ability to speak freely. And they most certainly don't want you to tap back into your greater self and or God. Because then you will remember who you are. Then you will overthrow the system. Because you'll realize the system is a lie. So my point is you've got to be very careful about where you are receiving your information, because really the honest truth is you should be receiving it from yourself, because you're the only one that's walking this path. You're the only one that knows who you are, what you've been through, what you know, what you do. You're it. So you should be tapping in. It's your job to sit down Tune in, tap in, integrate, become, get your own damn messages. Become your own architect. All right. I love you. Have an amazing day.